Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's the Fruit Nut News on, of course, the evening of the fifth day of the third month, ladies and gentlemen. So, how are we doing today, guys? Hope we're all okay. What a day today. Beautiful up in the northeast of England today. Absolutely spandagly dozy. A little bit hazy to start with, but apart from that, it was all okay. So, let's have a hello to everybody, see what's going on. Oh, Cowboy Collins first in today, Dave Hunter second, Diane Williamson third. We've also got the whole of Ireland in, Patty Flint's in, Glenn Pearson, Ishila Brady, Steve Osborne's in, of course, Kath Myers, Valerie Mooney's joining us as well tonight, Graham's in, Rose Stewart's in, Jen Miss is in, Olivia's in, Ellen Dean's in, Sharon Young's in, Sheila Douglas is joining us, Lisa McCulloch, who is now the new Secretary of State, apparently, lovely, and Lisa Steele, Jackie, Andrea Briggs is in, Sue Allen in, Mary's in, Strongworld is in, Leslie's in, John Brink is in, Brian Wright's joining us tonight as well, Joanna Unwin's in, Brandy is in from America, I think it is, not quite sure, Ann Taylor, Belinda's in, Blue Rose is joining us, Kira's in from, of course, from Ireland, Sunora's in, Carolyn Singh's in, Maznu's in, Brendan Corcoran, David Hannon, Christina's in, A New Life is in, Karen Moore's joining us tonight, Kelly Thero's in, Zena, Janet Walker, and of course, Dave Ling. So, good evening everyone, hope we're all okay. It's been a very interesting day, as usual, on a Thursday the 5th of the 3rd. So what should we start with tonight? Well, apart from anything, things are getting even more interesting. Now, of course, we've got Rachel Grief. Rachel Reeves has been renamed as Rachel Grief, just basically piling misery upon misery upon misery of people, absolutely, and the country as well, and even the world, I should know, just miserable bitch. Know what I mean? So we've learnt a few things about Rachel Grief over the last, particularly over the speech that she made. What did they call it? The spring bullshit budget. Oh, yes. And it was really a load of bullshit. Rachel Reeves said that the economy is not growing. She also said that she was in La La Land, and she said that I have no idea how to actually get out of the shit. Brilliant, you've got to love it. And this is on the back, of course, of piling more and more misery on a million more old age pensioners. This is in regards to tax on state pensions. The income tax threshold is going to change. I don't think she's realised how many people are going to be affected. But anyway, that's nothing new, is it? Not only that, it's also taken 4 years for Rachel and Mahmood to work out that hotels are quite expensive for illegal immigrants. And they've also all of a sudden seemed to have worked out that putting up immigrants in in hotels costs a lot of money, especially if they're 4-star hotels or 5-star hotels like the one in central London that had 280 bedrooms and was housing 40 people. Fully paid for by, of course, the taxpayer every single day, 24 hours a day. And I think it's still going on now. I'm not sure. I haven't worked it out. Now, we had a few comments this morning about the Kingsman. Apparently, some people are saying that I work for the Kingsman. I'm saying nothing. Because, of course, Everything that I do is undercover. And so yesterday you saw me driving a dumper at the massive speed of 10 miles an hour, delivering delivering topsoil to a customer. That was, of course, as cover, a classic Kingsman technique. And then, of course, we've got all the projects that I do: fencing, patio work, sleeper work, fences. What else? Hanging barn doors, all that stuff. All that stuff is just a classic cover for a Kingsman. So very, very interesting. Now, of course, we have to talk about HMS Dragon. Now, this of course is actually hilarious. Now, of course, for months and months and months, of course, people have known about the Iranian attack. Okay, if you didn't know about it, you must be an absolute bell end. But of course, Keir Starmer is, of course, a toolmaker's son. Now, of course, HMS Dragon, of course, apparently Keir Starmer said yesterday that HMS Dragon will be sailing forthwith to Cyprus. Well, not so. Apparently, Keir hasn't worked out that the Navy need to supply the vessel with supplies, namely ammunition. Not only that, food, water, sugar, chocolate biscuits, all that stuff that a good old Navy lad needs. Now, of course, there is, of course, a lead time for stocking a ship, and it takes quite a while. Now, apparently, Keir Starmer didn't realise this, that your Navy could not sail straight away because the ship hadn't got any supplies. Well, I don't know about you, but that's all being part of a toolmaker's son. And the estimates now are that the HMS Dragon will not be able to sail until at least a week. So there you go. It just shows you, the incompetence and the level of common sense that not only our Prime Minister has at the moment, but also other people around the world, and not only that, the whole of the political Westminster system haven't got a fucking clue what to do. Now, meanwhile, of course, French and German ships are on the way to Cyprus to protect and rescue the Cypriot citizens. Meanwhile, of course, Starmer is acting like a buffoon and wants to make sure that the war is legal, because we don't want another Iraq and we don't want another Afghanistan. Now, weeks and weeks ago, everyone knew that there was going to be a war in Iran or the Middle East or whatever. And what Starmer did was, which is really interesting, and this is a British colonial move to try and create a problem. Starmer refused to use Diego Garcia as a forward operating base. A forward operating base, ladies and gentlemen, is where planes and supplies land in, and then basically they use that base to fly onto other bases. So they fly all the ammunition in, get all the planes there, then they use that to obviously launch an attack. But of course, Keir Starmer decided that that was not the right thing to do because it wasn't playing English cricket. Or should we say, it wasn't playing colonial cricket. Now, I want to take you back to the difference in the in the way that now let's go back to the easiest one, which is Iraq. Iraq, weapons of mass destruction that were never found. Dr. Kelly found dead with his throat slit, hands tied behind his back. How that fucking one works, I never know. Official story. And then, of course, we have Keir Starmer working alongside George Bush, basically, because the rhetoric was advantageous to the deep state, or should we say the British colonial rulers. Now, fast forward to 2026, what Donald Trump is doing is not in line with what the British colonial masters want to do. And so it's very clear that the British are not in control. And of course, this is why we've got so much attack going on to Donald Trump. Okay, so this is something that everybody needs to sort of remember. Okay, so think about Iraq. Think about the way that George Bush and Tony Blair worked together to be able to create a narrative that then led to ISIS, Al Qaeda, the Twin Towers coming down, the losing of 2.3 trillion from the Pentagon, the gold disappeared. There was all kinds of shit going on. Not to mention an insurance job on the Twin Towers that were basically condemned with asbestos. Easiest way to bring them down is via demolition. Yes, so very, very interesting. So there's a massive difference between Iraq and what's happening now in Iran. So now what we've got is Trump has gone in there because Iran is basically the I'm not going to say the main ringleader of the cabal or the deep state, because I don't think they are. Israel apparently threatened to use nuclear weapons, which apparently forced Donald Trump's hand. Now, obviously, that leads to some very interesting questions, okay? And also as well, where this is going to go. Where is this going to go? Because it's very clear that the British colonials are running out of options. Now, what they did here is Donald Trump whips in, does his usual fucking blow the shit out of everything. And then, of course, what happened is Lloyd's of London decided that they were going to not insure the oil tankers, which meant that the oil tankers would automatically cease to function. Oil prices would, it would choke. The Strait of Hormuz would choke not only the shipping, but also the oil and the trade. So Donald Trump steps in and goes, you can fuck right off with that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to insure the ships ourselves, and if necessary, we are going to escort them under military situations. What that means is that Donald Trump gets like 2 or 3 options here. First of all, he gets to insure the ships, and of course, which could lead to inspections if necessary. But having said that, he can also check those ships via the military. Okay, for children, drugs, trafficking, money, gold, whatever you want to do, which is really, really interesting. Okay, so that was the first, that was one of the first blows across Lloyd's. Now remember, Lloyd's of London are a very old-fashioned, maritime company, trading in the world, etc., etc., etc. So what Donald Trump's doing here is he's taking down the British maritime system, because remember, the British maritime system, i.e. the birth certificate scam, the Federal Reserve, is entrenched throughout the world. So with them gone, okay, you can create some serious good shit. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's that. Now, Starmer also refused to use the military bases, but what happened is Trump got round that. But then, of course, what happened was when Starmer found out that Trump had got round it, he then backtracked and said, "Well, yeah, okay, you can use the last 200 meters of the runway, but no more." So now, then, of course, Donald Trump sits with Merz. Now, Merz is the German Chancellor. I'm not fans of him anyway, but that don't really matter. But that sent a clear signal to Keir Starmer that, of course, other people are working with Donald Trump. So this is all like cloak and dagger stuff. This is like 5D chess. This is 5D chess that's going on. Now, then what happened is, after all this happened, right, now, the mainstream media are now portraying this as another Iraqi war. Now, this is, as you well know, went in mass destruction, lasted years and years and years, etc., etc. So now the mainstream media, because it's not their role play, so to speak, they're now saying that, this is going to last forever. This is going to do. I reckon it's going to be dead short. I don't know how many days. I ain't got a clue, but it's certainly not going to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. I reckon it's going to be over like dead quick. Okay. Now, who starts to run Iraq? Fucking no idea. Absolutely no idea. I'm not in the know, so I don't know. Even though I'm a Kingsman. So, of course, Iran then starts to bomb every fucker else. Cyprus, Yemen, freaking everything. So what this is doing is, obviously they're bombing Israel, okay? So it's really interesting that all these other people have been sort of coming to the theatre. So we're looking at, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, everybody's just got pulled into this war. Now, remember that 130,000 Britons are trapped in the Middle East. Now, apparently, at the moment, there is only, that I know to, only one flight has actually left. So that's, I don't know, let's say there's 500 people on that flight. That's a lot of people to shift, 130,000. And still, really, really very little from Keir Starmer in regards to all kinds of things. Not only that, very little from the Conservatives as well. Now, don't forget, you see, the Conservatives and the Labour, the political theatre is all about the same deal. It's all about the same bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't understand that by now, you clearly haven't been paying attention to what's going on. So there's also another story behind Iran as well. Apparently, there's a Stargate in Iran, apparently controlled by the Anunnaki. Now, because we don't know the history of the Anunnaki, we are only able to very gingerly piece things together as to what happened to humanity. We do know that humanity has a certain strand of DNA that shouldn't be there. So of course, you have to remember that in the same way that there is good human beings and bad human beings, there is also good Anunnaki and bad Anunnaki. There is good Palladians and bad Palladians, etc., etc., etc. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to also, bear that in mind when we talk about stuff. Now, this was really interesting as well. This goes along the lines of what I would say is basically dissing the nuclear family. So the headline, there was a big headline in the paper, and we had what's his name? We had Elton John and his husband David. Then there was the two boys, Zachary and Elijah. Fucking hell, right? And then we had two Labradors. Now, even the Labradors were male. And the headline was, a very happy British family. Now, I want you to let that sink in for a second. So there was no women, no girls, okay? These were all, and that's what he said, a very British happy family. Now, this photograph or portrait, whatever it is going up in the National Portrait Gallery in London, right? Think about it, a very British happy family. Four males and two male dogs, okay? And this is kind of the inverted world of the wokeness, the bullshit, the fucking. They're trying to get rid of the male female nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? And to a large extent, it's worked actually quite well. Women generally don't know what the fuck they want. Men generally don't know what the fuck they want. We've got children now that don't know what the fuck they want. Do you know what I mean? It's like nobody knows, nobody seems to know what the fuck they want. Do you know what I mean? Really, really interesting. And we've just hit 666 people. 66, let me just get that right there. 666 people. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's it for tonight. I'm going to get myself off, and hope that you've all had a great day. I've had an absolutely fantastic day. In fact, I was saying to someone earlier, I've actually got a bit of sunburn on my face. I could just feel it tingling. So over the last couple of days, we've had the sun out, and of course, if you are outside quite a lot, like I am, you do actually catch the sun, and it's quite prominent. So yeah, get yourself outside, top up on them on that vitamin D. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna get myself off. Louis Loads. I'll try and bring some more decent shit tomorrow. And we'll see you all again soon. Love you loads. Take care.